Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Lilies and Tomatoes. Today we are at my new desk in my basement, and we're going to go over the beginner garden worksheet. If we have not met yet, my name is Quincy Adams, and I want to help you grow some of your own food in a small space on a budget. Let's get started. Okay, so I've got this set up, but it is very slow. If you guys are having trouble hearing me, let me know. Let me turn this on so I can see. I'm getting spinning circles, and I'm not getting looks like I'm not getting a good connection for some reason. But we are going to try this out. Looks like I'm not getting a good connection for some. Okay, so I do hear sound, so we're going to proceed. And this is the new worksheet that I made for you guys. Let's do this. And so it looks kind of like I actually started revising this, but then I didn't put it out. So here's the new one. So this worksheet is going to take you through what you need to collect in order to get your garden started. And this is a fillable form. So just click on the link in the comments and you will be able to download the form. And so if I'm filling this form out for myself, I'm going to put my city and state. That's for Washington, Maryland. My zip code is 20744. I am going to click on this link and go to the National Gardening Association website to find my plant hardiness zone. And I'm not linking to the USDA site anymore because their site is down. Their certificates are bad and you can't get to that site anymore. So I think it's funny when you can't get to the federal government websites because they don't have their security certificates up. But so I go to this website, I put in my zip code, and this is actually going to tell me that I'm in zone 7A. But I know that I'm on the border of 7A, 7B, so I always go with 7A. But just for the sake of argument, we're going to put in 7A because that's what it says here on our worksheet. So go back to the worksheet, and I put in 7A. And then I go to the Farmer's Almanac, and I find out what my frost dates are. This is just an estimate. So the frost dates, generally, I think this website shows you the 30% accuracy date, but there is a range of dates. And on the last page of this worksheet, it does go into it gives you a link to another site that shows you a bigger list. So according to this, it says that Washington Reagan Airport, Virginia, which is across the river from me, the estimate based on my altitude is April 2nd and November 10th, giving me a growing season of 221 days. So I'm going to go back to my worksheet and put that in. So last spring frost is April 2nd. Come on, baby. We're going slow, but we're still going. This does not want to do the thing, so let's close this link since we're done with this one. First fall frost, it says November 10th. And last year, our last spring frost was actually earlier than April 2nd. And our last fall frost was actually later than November 10th. So this is just an estimate. And then the length of the season is 221 days. And we close that. And then we come down to the next page of the worksheet, and it just explains that annual plants go seed to seed in 1 year. And so that means you're going to plant the seed, the plant's going to grow up, and then it's going to set flowers. The flowers are going to get pollinated. Then it's going to set more seeds, and then the whole plant's going to die all the way down to the roots. Everything's gone. With a perennial plant, then you're going to have plants that you are going to plant them, plant's going to grow up, and it may set flowers and get pollinated and set seeds, but the whole plant is not going to die. So it may die back, but the roots will still be alive. It may still be green or whatever throughout your whole season, but you should expect that a plant that is hardy to your zone is not completely dead at the end of the growing season. So like in the wintertime, when all your annual plants die, a perennial plant is still going to be alive. So that's just explaining that. And then we're going to look at our garden size. And let's see if I can... Not sure if this is going to work. Basically, what I did was I recorded a couple of videos earlier today that explained how I figured out the size of my garden. So I just went out on my deck and I measured the size of the deck. It's 10 feet by 20 feet. And in the backyard, my backyard is 15 feet by 22 feet. So I just multiplied those two numbers out. So 10 feet by 20 feet is 200 square feet. And then 15 feet by 22 feet is 200 or 330 square feet. And then I added those two numbers together and then I divided it by 2 because I've got tables and greenhouses and then walkways that need to be kept clear. So I discovered, so using that simple math, I'm saying that I have a garden that is 265 square feet. That's how much growing space I have. And I made a couple videos about that, how I came up with those numbers and I posted on YouTube, and then I put the link to the YouTube video that I posted earlier. And then I also use my cell phone to pull up Google Maps so I can get the direction that my garden faces. And let's see if we can get that to open, because I did show you the process. So if I can get this to play, then I will show you guys that real quick. And if it doesn't play, then the link is in the worksheet and you can go back to it some other time and watch the video. So I explained how do you pull it up, how do you, the little icons to do the icon-y thing, and what the direction shows you. So we will give this another second, and if it doesn't play, then I'll just explain it to you. Basically, what you want to do is you want to open up Google Maps on your, oh wait, is it doing it? We might get this to play. So you're going to open up Google Maps on your phone, and you are going to click on the My Location icon. Oh, why am I not getting volume? Oh, okay. I hope you guys have been able to hear me this whole time, because my computer's doing funny things. Compass rose icon above that is not already on. It will pop up. The red arrow points towards north and the gray arrow points towards south. So what you want to do is stand in your garden facing towards the garden with the top of your phone facing towards the garden, as close to your house as possible. And then that way it'll tell you as you move the phone, you can see the little compass rose icon changing, and that is the direction that your garden faces. So I'm going to turn this around so you can see right now I've got this facing south because the gray arrow is pointing towards the top of my phone. So if my garden faces south, then I know that the sun is going to come up in the east and set in the west. And the east is going to be on the left-hand side of my garden, and the west is going to be on the right-hand side of my garden. If my garden faced towards the north, then it would be the opposite. So if my garden faces north, then the sun is going to rise on the right-hand side of my garden, and the sun is going to set in the west on the left-hand side of my garden. I hope you guys I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, just let me know. Bye. Okay, so if you did not get all of that, then don't worry. There is a link to that video on the worksheet. Basically, you open up your Google Maps, you click on the My Location icon. That will make the little compass rose icon pop up. And then the red end of the compass rose points north. The gray end points west, or the gray end points south. So you can figure out if your garden faces north, east, west, or south based on that little thing. And then you'll know where the sun is going to come up in the morning and where it's going to go down at night. If it's not, like if you have buildings around you and you can't see that clearly where you live. That's all that video was explaining. And I hope that you guys can still hear me. And so that's like the main two things on the garden worksheet. I will show you one other thing if this will open. So this is davesgarden.com. If you put your zip code into this website, it's going to give you a full range of frost dates. And I will just show this to you guys real quick so you can get an idea of how big the range of frost dates can be for your garden. If this is, this is moving a little bit faster. Okay, so as you can see, I put in my zip code for where my house is, and it gave me 3 different sets of data. So this one at the bottom, Vienna Dunloring, that's actually pretty far from here. So we're not going to use that. And then this middle one is the Washington National Airport. That's the one that the Farmer's Almanac pulls from. And then this other one, the Carlia Reservoir, DC. I'm not sure what this is, but it's in Columbia County. And I live in PG County. So the one that is the most accurate for me is the one that is Washington National Airport. So springtime temperature, their estimates, there's a range. So there's a 10% chance that the last 32 degree frost will happen on April 10th. There's a 20% chance it'll happen by April 6th. Most of the, like the Farmer's Almanac goes by this date, pretty much the April 30th or April 3rd. That's the 30% chance. So on most websites you go to that give you your first and last frost dates, it's going to use the 30% number. Of course, it's unresponsive because my internet connection is going really slow. And then there's a less chance as you get down. So there's a 40% chance it'll be by April 1st, 50% by March 24th, 80% March 21st, 90% March 17th. So last year, I don't remember off the top of my head when it was, but it was sometime in March. So we had a lot of days that were hovering around then. And there were people around here who had frost after that. But we definitely had our last frost date in March. And I'm pretty sure it was in March the year before as well. And we definitely have had our first frost in the fall, like it's been mid-November. So last year, this previous year, it was on, I think, November 17th. And the year before that, it was around November 10th. So those are like a little bit past the 30% date. And I'm not sure how often they update those. I know for the zones, the zone is going to tell you the average extreme low temperature for that area, but it's using a 30-year data set. But the last time they updated it was in 2010. So I'm hoping that they're updating it for 2020 because I'm pretty sure that it's going to change. But because the website is down, I was not able to get that specific information from the USDA. So if anyone has any questions on this, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. And I will let you guys go for tonight. You download the worksheet. You can get the worksheet and just work through it. And if this video does not have complete sound, then I will re-record it because this is kind of like really important to get you guys started. And then we will start using the elements from this worksheet plus the criteria for setting your garden goal to start planting our gardens next week. And if you have not gotten your seeds yet, please check my friend Andre's seed shop. It's fireflyfarmandmercantile.com. And if you use the code Lilies, Lilies, you can get a 5% discount on your seeds. And there is also a link for that on the last page of the worksheet. So make sure you get your seeds. Be ready to start planting your garden. Next week, we're going to get into it. And I will probably, I'm going to see about doing a live, like just impromptu one, and plant some seed and start some seeds on Saturday. I'm thinking about it. But there's not really enough garden stuff going on to have a full class every Saturday yet. But those are coming. So I will see you guys possibly on Saturday, but definitely next Tuesday. Bye.